Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are enjoying my 80s series so far. We are continuing, of course, with the 80s, and I searched high and low for some absolute classic 1980s vinyl, and I found these. I purchased these from Get Kooky, so not sponsored, but these are super robust, heavy duty vinyls. You would wrap your furniture in these, and dare I say, you could probably wrap your car. But they were not cheap, so all I could really kind of justify buying were two small A5 sample sets in the hopes that they would pattern match, you know, and I could get away with getting a larger tray out of these. Sadly, as you can see, whilst the purple square looks great, the tip of the triangle at the bottom here and the little blue square at the top, they don't quite match up, so I was pretty sad about it. My plan was, of course, to use a much larger mould like this oval molds and shapes molds, but as you can see, the A5 just was not reaching the edges, and sadly there wasn't really any like leftover pattern that I could just cut and match it up. So I decided to go back to the old favorite, the classic Amazon tray. So many of us will have this tray already at home, and I figured now I can make two trays because I've got the two A5 pieces of vinyl. So first and foremost, PPE is going on. I've got my respirator and of course my gloves. I will link those below if you want to know where I got mine. But yeah, we are using Apex resin in today's video. Now, at the moment, the temperature dropped dramatically the last few days. Honestly, it got so cold so quickly. So I did have to sit my Apex in a hot bath for around about 10 minutes, which is why it looks really watery. And basically I'd forgotten to put the radiator on in my craft room. My craft room was 2 degrees, guys. 2 degrees. I'm surprised most of my resin didn't freeze. But I had to go up, put my radiator on, grab the Apex, sit that in a hot bath for about 10 minutes, and then I could work with it really, really happily. And that goes across all epoxy resins. That's not just Apex. Once I had it mixed, part A, part B, in a calibrated cup, I then set it off to be mixed on my Let's Resin mixing machine. Now I'm speeding this section up. My next step is to create a template. So again, there's multiple ways of doing this. For me today, on this particular day, it was a lot easier to just do it this way. I've often used paper in the past and just folded the paper across the edges and then kind of cut around where it dented the paper. But I just felt like I needed to be very, very specific. This vinyl was not cheap and I don't want to mess it up. And so therefore I'm using masking tape as a template. I'm laying the masking tape down over the tray, as you can see, pressing it down over around that inside lip, using a Sharpie to mark the very tippity edge and then cutting around it. Before I did that though, I did lay it down onto some more, I think this was transfer tape. I just wanted it on something more robust, something that was going to make it easier for me to cut out, because cutting super sticky masking tape is just not the one. And I don't need this masking tape to be able to stick to the vinyl, right? I just need my template. Now, what I did try to do here was just cut outside the permanent marker line. I didn't want to cut inside because then that would leave me a much, much smaller piece of vinyl than I need. So I was trying to just cut on the outside edge of that Sharpie mark, just so it fits, you know. I didn't want to cut this vinyl and not have it fit. So I honestly, hand on heart, I probably could have cut a little bit just outside the line as opposed to on the edge. But it works, it's fine. There's no big glaring gaps in the end result. So here I am then just transferring it onto the vinyl. Please don't judge my pen of choice. I don't know what happened. I don't know where the rest of my pen went. All I had in front of me was the inner workings of my biro. So I've got no idea what happened to that. I've got no memory. So if anyone knows, do let me know in the comment section down below. The inner refill ink bit worked fine and I managed to draw around my template. Now here's the thing, these two molds on camera look exactly the same. They are identical molds from Amazon. I would have bought them years ago, probably either individually or a pack of 2 or 3. But actually, if I transfer this template onto my second tray, it is out. Like, it is so out by a good solid 2 to 3 millimeters on one end. So either making 2 templates or just knowing in your head to cut an extra 2 to 3 mil on the outer curve. So we've got our vinyls cut. It is time to get the resin off of my Let's Resin mixing machine and separate it into 2 separate cups. Now I'm going for yellow and blue. I'm using these liquid pigments from Let's Resin, but I'm also pastalizing them down a bit by adding white. I don't want them to be bright, you know, bumblebee yellow or bright blue sky cyan blue. I want them to be pastel to match the vinyl. Now, sadly, I didn't quite get there. You might think you put a little bit much in there, and I did. I mean, honestly, watching the video back, I thought, God blimey, I put a lot of pigment in there. You don't need to put that much. That was an epic waste. It was not detrimental to the curing process of the resin, but it could have been if I put much more in. So the blue took the white really easily and I got a much lighter shade. The yellow was putting up a bit of a fight, honestly, and I didn't want to keep adding more and more white, so I ended up just going with what I've got, which was more of a buttery yellow. Not quite bumblebee, but a little bit more Kerrygold. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, the yellow's not quite right for me. I'm happy with that paler blue. That definitely ties it in a lot better with the vinyl, as opposed to the yellow, which is still giving jacket potato with melted butter on top. But that's okay, you know, it's still going to work at the end of the day. You won't believe what I'm about to tell you next, guys, but I mixed up a bit too much resin. I mean, very rarely. Very rarely does that happen. I am, of course, kidding. The blue resin ended up going into the medallion mould by Let's Resin, and the yellow resin went into the keyring mould by Let's Resin. And we're gonna now add on to the video, and we're also gonna make some keyrings. Now, this is a very simple, straightforward video. It's a simple creation, absolutely perfect for beginners and people that have been doing resin for many, many years. Because imagine the vinyls that are out there. Like, imagine. Oh, there's so many glorious ones. So out comes the blue tray, out comes the yellow tray, and then we can simply stick the vinyls in, and it worked an absolute dream. That blue, oh my gosh, it's such a perfect match. The yellow, not so much, but at the end of the day, it still works. There's yellow in the vinyl and there's yellow in the tray, and thus we have a match. The easiest thing about this vinyl is that because it's so thick, like it's a really thick, robust, like I've said, not sponsored, purchased vinyl, it's just easy. It's forgiving. It's more forgiving than a UVDTF, you know, and just getting that end and then peeling back like this was just easy. Like, it was just so easy to make sure that this was fully in place before I laid it down. Now, honestly, I didn't really look much into the company Get Kooky, but I do know that it's a one-woman show. It's a small business, although the range is wild. Like, you can get so much on there, and you can buy it by the meter, by the roll. You can literally buy so much of it. But again, not sponsored, so do check them out. If you're interested, I'll leave the details down below. They don't know me. I didn't say it. I literally just ordered little samples because your girl had a skin month last month. Definitely don't go into YouTube if you think you're going to be rich. Right, here we are. We've got the 2 trays absolutely done. Now, here was the fun bit, right? I had so much fun doing this. The keyrings are going to be made from the vinyl cuts, what's left of my 2 pieces of vinyl, and what's left of my UVDTF stickers by Amanda Towgood purchased. So with the vinyl, there was tons of pattern left on there that it would have broken my heart to just throw away. Like, they are scrap pieces of vinyl. I couldn't do anything with them apart from individually cut out each and every shape that I could physically see. Now, some of these shapes were not whole. They're going off the side of the vinyl, and I was all right with that because I didn't want to necessarily fill them completely in my keyrings or my medallions. What I did do was put all the blue bits to one side because I don't want blue on blue, and I just kept all the yellow and pink and the black bits for the blue background. What I also did was took a keyring that I've already made. I butted it up against the vinyl just to cut that semicircular perfected shape so that all of my offcuts would sit beautifully in line with that circular shape. There's no other way of saying it. I don't know. My brain's not working. My brain has been off this week, guys. So off my brain, honestly. Oh, I went to Slimming World on Monday night, lost 2.5 pounds, which I'm absolutely buzzing. Literally on the cusp. I am on the cusp of getting my 4 stone award, right? And my brain just went. I was just sitting there in complete, like, who am I? What's my name? This midlife is just not midlife. It's not working for me, honestly. And we were talking about getting out more, going walking more. And my consultant said something about not walking enough. And I just said, well, get yourself a dog. It will get you out the house. Guys, she has a dog. Please, someone slap me. She has a dog. I've met the dog multiple times. I actually love her dog. But no, I'm sitting there with my brain gone into mush. And I won Slimmer of the Week, and I think that probably sent me. And I was like, you should get a dog. Honestly, you'd get out of the house more. She looked at me like, are you okay, Claire? Granted, she's young. She's like early 20s. So she probably doesn't really understand yet what a melting pot your brain becomes when you're nearly 50. But anyway, if anyone else has any experience like that, please please tell me. Don't make me feel so alone. I'm sitting there like, oh my God, Claire, she has a dog. Are you okay? Go out, get some fresh air, drink more water. But yeah, that's where my brain has been this week. What about yours? Let me know in the comment section down below. So back to the video. We are using, like I said, those little scrap salvage pieces from the vinyl because the stuff was not cheap. And we're using the remainder of those UVDTF stickers from Amanda Towgood. Now, the reason I've sped this up, as you can tell, peeling these back, peeling the vinyl pieces back and peeling the UVDTF pieces back were a struggle. Both a struggle. I struggle. What can I say? I struggle. These little televisions are so adorable, but they're pesky. That little aerial, oh, it's a pesky little aerial because it's so teeny tiny, itty minuscule aerial. You just have to be a bit more careful when you peel back that protective layer. Make sure you're pinning it down in place so that you don't rip that TV aerial clean off the TV, which of course did happen. I just had to make sure I got it back on there. But this was fun because I didn't set out and be like, right, this has got to go there, this has got to go there. I just allowed myself to put whatever wherever. Whatever wherever is gonna be a new series. All right. Okay, top coat time, and of course we are using the Apex Cure Pro top coating and doming resin. This is a stunner. I've really loved using this, and now I've just finished my second kit, so I need to get more of that ordered, and it is time to get this in. Now I will say, it was only just before top coating. You can see here I'm kind of like pushing down and I think I've got a bubble caught. I've caught a bubble under the vinyl, which we do not want, right? So at first I'm sorry it's off camera, but at first I grabbed my blade to try and peel back the vinyl, and I thought, Claire, don't do it. I'm telling myself don't do it. And in the end, I just pierced a hole through the bubble and I got rid of it that way. So just double check everything. The next thing to add is I wanted to deburr the edges, okay? And my deburring tool has had it. Like, not the tool, the blade is dead. It was a real struggle for me to deburr the edges on this, and I realised it has probably been a year since I've changed the blade on my deburring tool. Luckily, I knew where I'd put the rest. When you buy the kit, it comes with a ton of blades. And I'm not even kidding. One blade lasted me a year easily. So definitely worth it. I changed the blade and honestly, oh my gosh, guys, mwah, chef's kiss. You know when you buy a new set of knives, which I've just done as an adult. I bought my first new set of knives in many years. And they actually cut. They actually cut food. I was like, what do you mean you're going through my tomato like a knife through butter? What's going on? So yeah, changing the blade. Oh, I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. I've been struggling for a while thinking it was just my hands, because obviously my hands hurt sometimes. But no, it just needed a new blade, and I can't explain. I think you could hear it in my voice, the feeling I got when I was able to just carve these sides off with absolute ease. So if you're watching from home and you've got a deburring tool and you've been struggling with it, guys, change the blade. Change the blade. Right, here we are. Before I top coat these trays, like I like to do with a lot of trays, I'm putting my cork sticky back feet on the back and I'm deburring, making sure that once top coated, they are absolutely fully ready. Now, the other thing to mention is if you are near Kettering, Northamptonshire, which is where I am from, not Kettering, Ohio in America, Kettering, Northamptonshire in the UK, I now sell all of my pieces at a salon here in town. It is called Number 19 Wellness. It is on Market Street in Kettering. It's where I get my nails done. And they've got loads of things for sale in there. So you can go in, you can buy a birthday card from the ones that make cards. Like there's also some knitted items in there as well. Just like they support local artists in the same way that, you know, I'm supporting them with my business as well. So get yourself down to Number 19 Wellness on Market Street, Kettering. If you would like to see anything I've made on my channel, I'm selling it in there. I've got a unit in there, which is super exciting. And not expensive, guys. I am not out here putting crazy prices on my work. But yeah, no shade to those who do, but I want my stuff gone. You understand? I can't have it sitting in my garage for the next 25 years. Right, back to the video. Oh my gosh, Claire, stop talking. One day, guys. One day. I've top coated the 2 trays. You don't want a lot. You still want them to be a tray. You just want to make sure that your vinyl goes edge to edge. I've then hit it with my blowtorch before continuing on to the medallions. Guys, let's rewind. Do you remember last week when I was like, go slowly? Go slowly. Just pour a little bit in and then eyeball it. Get down on the floor, like eye level to the table, and you can see where your top coat is going. You can just stop the resin just in time when you've got that gorgeous little dome. Yeah, so that was me last week, quote unquote Claire. This week I decided to try it, but unfortunately I got spill off on about 4 pendants. Now, again, you can only do what you can do, and you're as good as you are, right? And last week, it was beautiful. It worked a dream, and I got absolute perfection on every single top coat on every single thing. Not so much this week, okay? So, again, day by day, we're different people. Now, I invested in a long neck lighter, finally. Finally got a long neck lighter from Amazon. I bought a pack of 3 Clipper. I thought, right, let's go with branded. Right, we all know the Clipper brand. Guys, absolute tosh, don't buy them. Rubbish. The flame was so meek and mild, it was barely enough to light a barbecue. Like, I just would never. So, pound shop all the way, all right? I'm going back to the pound shop. I'm going to buy a pack of 10 for £1.50 because the flames on those actually flamed, okay? So, yeah, wasted money, don't buy them. Unless you're a smoker, they're absolutely perfect for lighting a cigarette. But, again, I'm not advocating that. So, let's demold. First and foremost, like I said, we got spill off. We got spill off on 3 or 4 of these, which, and again, nothing I ever do is perfect, and I've come to terms with that, okay? I've come to terms with that. Made with love, not perfection. We all know and love that saying, but it's just ag for me because I hate sanding. Now, of course, I've got the Let's Resin sanding machine, but honestly, I'm not using that today because for me, I need a little bit more control. And I'm worried that if I got out my Let's Resin sanding machine and held these up against it, they'd go flying across the room. Do you understand? So I'm using 1000 grit. 1000 grit wet dry sandpaper. I'm adding copious amounts of water sprayed on from my spray bottle. And oh my gosh, I'm sanding them to within an inch of their life. And trust me, I have kept you out of most of this. I'm not bringing you into this, all right? Because this was torture for me, so I can only imagine it's torture to watch. So A, I've sped up a ton, and B, I'm not showing you everything. I am holding them on their sides, like bang on, perfectly on their sides, until all of those spilled off edges are absolutely gone. Now, the reason I'm using 1000 grit is because it's not going to be detrimental to the final piece. You're not going to see this raw, almost frosted glass appearance. It's just gonna disguise on the side, you know. Whereas if you go in with a really harsh grit, say 80 or 240 or even 320, don't do that. They're too strong if you want a nice finish. Now, I am not about to sand these back and buff them up and polish them back to a resin-like appearance. The edges of these keyrings are now frosted. Okay, that's just how I roll. I'm not about to make them look shiny. No one's looking at the sides. So that is how it is, okay? And these keyrings are for sale in the salon at £4 a pop. My keyrings are not expensive. My trays are not expensive. At the moment, most of my trays in the salon that you've seen me make here on my channel, including all of the 70s and 80s, they're £15. I'm not out here trying to make large money. I'm just trying to eat. Like I said, don't go into YouTube if you want to be rich. Right, next up, drill some holes. Drill some holes and get those screw eyelets down into those holes. Again, I'm going to spare you all of this. I will tag my jewellery drill, my screw eyelets. I will link everything down below if you want to go ahead and get all of the tools and all of the equipment that I use on my channel. I will put my Amazon affiliate links down below if anyone wants to support me and help your girl buy healthy food. Healthy food's expensive, guys. I am kidding. I sound like I'm begging at this moment, but if you have not yet liked the video, please do hit that like and hit that other one. What's the word? Oh my god. Hype me. Hype this video. Hype it out. I don't know what it does. I think it gets me more support. I don't quite know yet. But yeah, I haven't put keyrings on all of these because I don't necessarily love the outcome of all of the keyrings. I have to spend a bit more time sanding them down. But these are the ones that are absolutely perfectly ready for sale, and these two trays are already in the shop at just £10 each. Oh my god, I sound like a car saleswoman. Guys, I appreciate you all so much. If you are still here, thank you so much, and thank you if you have been in the live chat with me. Again, I feel like I hold you hostage because you never quite know how long the video is going to be. I appreciate you all, and I will see you all in the next video, which I do believe is going to be my finale 1980s video of 2026 until I take it up again. Oh my god, the torrential rain. Oh my gosh, if you could see this, guys, I'm sitting on my new armchair in my spare room that still doesn't have a bed. But oh my gosh, I don't even know if you can hear that. Oh my goodness me. Wow. Okay, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye. Guys, if you are still here, I'm actually going to open the window. Oh my goodness me, can you hear that? Anyway, okay, thanks for watching. Bye!